Hi everybody, Neil with 21st Century Equipment. Today we're talking about the John Deere 1023E and specifically in this video, the 120R loader. This 120R loader is able to pick up 803 pounds when the tractor is properly ballasted. Now, a little bit about that statistic. John Deere is doing that measurement at the pivot pins, which is these bottom pins on the loader. That's where they make that measurement. So 800 pounds at the pin is what this loader will pick up. Let's talk about how to operate it though. Something I want to point out before I dive in, and when the tractor's running, I want to point out that this flat piece on the bucket is parallel to the cutting edge on the bucket as well. So as I'm sitting in the seat, of course I have a level indicator that I can use and I can adjust to set so that my bucket's level at a certain height, whatever the case. But I can also just quickly glance if I'm going into a pile or scraping dirt for a driveway, whatever it might be. I can quickly look and tell what the angle of my loader bucket is by looking at that top piece. So again, just a handy feature to have there instead of having it sitting at an odd angle or even curved, which would make it real hard to have that visual point of reference. So thanks John Deere for doing that. Makes it easier to operate. Let's go ahead and climb on the tractor. As I mentioned, a couple points of contact. Lift myself up in the seat. Before we get started, let's talk about the controls of the loader. This is the loader control. You'll notice, of course, falls kind of naturally to hand right here by my right side. And forward and reverse control the boom on the loader. So if I want to bring the arms of the loader up, I'm going to pull back on the lever. If I want to push the arms of the loader down, I'm going to go ahead and push forward. This unit does have a float position, so I go all the way to the end, and then I push it and you kind of feel a light click. Well, that puts the arms in what's called a float position, and they'll actually ride up and down. So if I were back dragging with the bucket, whatever the case may be, this puts it in float and those arms will sort of naturally ride up and down as they go over the terrain. It really helps it serve kind of as a light rake, if you will, but a great feature on these units. And then of course, as I go left and right, those give me other functions. So as I go left here, of course the bucket curls back, and as I go right, the bucket's going to go ahead and dump. So again, right to dump, left curls the bucket back. Now, you might be thinking, oh my goodness, I'm never going to remember that. Well, that's okay. There's actually a sticker right down here on the center console that you can see easily from the seat, but there's a sticker sitting right here that of course tells me and reminds me. So that's how we operate it. I do want to talk briefly. We have a whole nother video on the 120R loader and the importance of ballast. Now for this demonstration, I don't have a ballast box on the tractor. I'm only going to show you the function, so I'm not doing any heavy lifting. But you want to learn more about ballast, watch that video. Let's go ahead and get the tractor started. And again, I'll show you the controls and we'll scoop a little bit of dirt out here in the field. I'm going to pick up my loader, and again, I do that by pulling back on the lever. With my foot on the brake, I'm going to release the parking brake. With my foot on the brake, I'm going to go ahead and put the unit in low. That's a digging gear. I want to use high if I'm in transport mode. Forward pedal, I drive forward. Now, again, I'm going to watch that bucket. That dumps, and of course this curls. I'm going to watch the top of that bucket to see when I get kind of close to flat ground, and I'm on a little bit uneven ground, so forgive me, but I'm going to go ahead and lower it down. I don't want to be that aggressive with my bucket, but I'm going to be a little bit aggressive. I'm going to push forward on the lever to get a little bit of pressure on it, and you'll see it just starts to dig in. Now as I dig, in this case, I'm taking a little bit of an aggressive cut. As I dig, I want to raise the edge up, and then to pull the loader up, of course, just like we talked about. Straight back on the lever to go down, straight forward on the lever, to my right to go ahead and dump it, inside to go ahead and curl that bucket back. That's the basics of loader operation. Easy to use, easy to operate. So again, I pull back on the lever. That's going to get it up in the air. We're going to go ahead and run it all the way up. That's it up all the way as high as it'll go. And then to the outside to dump the bucket, and you'll see the material start to pour out in just a second. Little tip, make sure the wind's at your back if you can. Helps keep you a little bit cleaner and a little bit of mud out of your mouth. So lower it down, and of course, anytime I go to park one of these loaders, I want to put the bucket down on the ground and put the loader arms down on the ground as well. Again, just a safety feature. foot on the brake, set the parking brake, turn off the tractor, and I'm ready to exit and go do the next thing on my project list. One of the questions that I didn't address is, why does 21st Century Equipment sell our compact utility tractors with loaders? And the reality is, the vast majority of our customers, folks with property just like yours, they have a need for a loader like this. Whether it's just keeping the property clean and orderly, snow removal, maintaining a driveway, dealing with animal waste, manure, that sort of thing, whatever the reason, the loader is the most handy attachment. And the fact of the matter is, John Deere sells more of these compact utility tractors, no matter the size, with loaders as well. So at 21st Century Equipment, we want to make sure that you have the right tool for the jobs you're doing around your property. And more times than not, that's going to include a loader like this 120R. If you have questions, and if you're not sure if a loader is right for you, come in and talk to us at any of our 21st Century Equipment locations. We'd love to answer your questions and get you in the seat.